Hi everybody, in today's class we are going to discuss a new chapter known as diversity in living organisms. Diversity in living organisms. First of all, what is meant by diversity? Okay, diversity is diversity means diversity means varieties and variabilities among living organisms. Okay, this is known as diversity. Okay, diversity means varieties and variabilities among living organisms. Okay, there are different types of living organisms and they are of different types. Okay, they are different organisms and they are of different types. They are living together. That is known as diversity. Okay, diversity in living organisms. Okay, diversity in living organisms, from the microscopic form of life to the the macroscopic form of life. For example, bacteria. Bacteria is the microscopic form of life to a largest organism known as blue whale, which is about 30 meters, and the tall trees of California. Okay, we call it as what? Red wood. Okay, they range from 100 meters. Okay, they range above 100 meters. Okay, so there are microscopic form of life. Like bacteria to the largest organisms like blue whale and redwood. Okay, if all these organisms are not classified, then it would generate what? Confusion. To study all of them. So so this classification is very much important in studying this diversity in living organisms. So this classification system has been done since time immemorial. In 8th class you might have studied about the Greek thinker Aristotle. Okay, Greek thinker Aristotle, who classified the organisms, living things, into two categories. They are what? Planta and Animalia. So we will be looking now one by one. So Aristotle classified living things into two categories mainly. Okay, he classified living things into two categories. If two categories, we will call them as what? Two kingdom classification. Two kingdom classification. Two kingdom classification was put forth by what? Put forth by Aristotle. Two kingdom classification. He named them into plants and animals. And these plants, again he classified them as trees. They are the tall ones. The tall ones are known as trees and the short ones are known as shrubs. And the tender short ones are known as herbs. So Aristotle classified plants into this three system. Trees, shrubs and herbs. And these are morphological classifications. And animals, he he divided into animals that are having what? Red bloods, and others without it, others without red blood, Okay, so this was the morphological classification given by Aristotle. Okay, he classified into plants and animals. And next comes, okay, and next comes the person known as Linnaeus. Okay, Linnaeus. So this Linnaeus, okay, he also gave the two kingdom classification system with some more details. Okay, so he classified into again two kingdom classification system. And he added some more details. Okay, and he got the credit of classifying two kingdom classification system. Okay, but in his classification there were some drawbacks. For example, Euglena. Okay, Euglena. Euglena are the organism which is neither plants nor animals. Because this Euglena, they possess what? They possess chloroplasts, and these chloroplasts are used for what? Photosynthesis, and they do not have cell wall. So not having cell wall is the characteristics of animals, right? So it is showing somehow the characteristics like plants as well as like animals. So without cell wall. So this having chloroplast is the characteristics of plant, and without cell wall is the characteristic of animal. So there was confusion. So this gives a drawback, right? This gives drawback in his classification. And the organism like fungi. This is neither plant nor animal because they depend upon dead and decay matter for food. And we know that plants, if they are plants, they need to do what? Autotrophic mode of nutrition. They need to synthesize their own food. But this fungi, they depend on dead and decay matter. Okay, dead and decay matter for their food. Okay, so they are neither plants nor animals. So these are some of the drawbacks in the Linnaeus classification. Okay, two kingdom classification system. Okay, and the next one we will be discussing. Next comes Ernest Haeckel. Okay, we have discussed that. Okay, first was Aristotle, and the second was Linnaeus, and the third one is Ernest Haeckel. So this Ernest Haeckel, he gave three kingdom classification system. In his classification we find protists, plantae, and animalia. Okay, in his three kingdom classification we find protists, plantae, and animalia. So protists, we know that they are unicellular eukaryotic organisms. They are unicellular, and they are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic organisms. Okay, and plantae, we know that there are two types of plantae. Okay, with the characteristics having the ability to do what? Photosynthesis, photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. Non-photosynthetic. Okay, all this we will be discussing in later part of the videos. Photosynthetic. So plantae, photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. And animalia. Okay, they do not produce their own food, but they depend upon autotrophic. They depend upon autotrophs. So they are known as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs. So this is based on the mode of nutrition. They were classified. Okay, they were classified into plantae and animalia, and based on the cell. Okay, whether they are having true nucleus or not. Okay, so they were classified into eukaryotic organisms, and whether they are having one cell or they are made up of multi cells. So based on that, they are unicellular here. Okay, protists are unicellular. That means they have single cell and their nucleus is membrane bound. So they have a true nucleus, eukaryotic organism. So Ernest Haeckel came up with three kingdom classification system. Three kingdom classification system. Okay, and next we will be dealing now. Okay, next comes the person known as Copeland. Okay, Copeland came up with four classification system. Four kingdom classification system. Okay, Copeland came up with four kingdom classification system. Okay, in his classification we find that Monera, Protista, and the group we know that they are plantae and animalia. Plantae and animalia. Okay, so now these Monera, they are unicellular. They are unicellular and they are prokaryotic. They are prokaryotic. That means they are made up of single cell and they do not have a true nucleus. Their nucleus is not membrane bound. So they are prokaryotic organisms. Okay, they are unicellular and prokaryotic organisms. And these protists, we know that they are unicellular and they are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic organisms. And these plants, they are multicellular and they are eukaryotic. Okay, and these animals are also multicellular and they are eukaryotic. And so these are the four classification. Okay, Monera, Protista, Plantae and Animalia. It was put forth by Copeland. Okay, it was given by Copeland. And the next five kingdom classification was given by Whitaker. Okay, Whitaker. Okay, Whitaker came up with five kingdom classification system. Who was that? It was Whitaker. Okay, Whitaker came up with five kingdom classification system. Okay, when we are discussing about diversity in living organisms, we need to know the historical background, right? So these are the people who have contributed, okay, towards classifying the living things. Okay, so Whitaker came up with five kingdom classification system. 5 kingdom classification system. Okay, so 5 kingdom classification. What are those 5 kingdom classification? They are as usual Monera, Protista. Now he adds a new classification known as fungi. Okay, here fungi, and the same as usual. The two are Plantae and Animalia. Plantae and Animalia. Okay, these are the 5 kingdom classification system given by Whitaker, and now we are following only 5 kingdom classification system. Okay, which was given by Whitaker. So we know that they are unicellular prokaryotic organisms. They are unicellular eukaryotic organisms, and this, okay, we need to know that fungi, they do not depend upon, they depend, okay, their mode of nutrition is, let us say like this, it is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In this heterotrophic, their mode of nutrition is saprophytic. That means they depend upon dead and decay matter. Okay, saprophytic mode of nutrition. Saprophytic mode of nutrition. That's why they are known as saprophytes. Saprophytes. Okay, phyte means what? Plants. Okay, so fungi, they are saprophyte. They neither come, though, okay, it is phyte means what? Plant, relating to plant, but they do not produce their own food, and okay, they do not produce their own food, and they are not even under the Animalia. So they are separated into fungi. They are separated into this fungi category. So this was the 5 kingdom classification given by Whitaker. Okay, given by Whitaker. Okay, and the next one, 6th kingdom classification. Okay, 6th kingdom classification was given by Woese. Okay, Woese. Woese came up with 6th kingdom classification system. Okay, 6th kingdom classification system. He modified the Monera. He gave, okay, in this all bacteria come under this Monera, right? So he gave Archibacteria. He came up with this Archibacteria and Eubacteria. And Archibacteria is old bacteria, right? Old bacteria, and Eubacteria, they are the bacteria that we see at present day bacteria. Okay, so this was the 6th kingdom classification system, but okay, this also comes under Monera. That's why we only follow 5 kingdom classification system at present. Okay, so this among this 6th kingdom classification, the first kingdom classification given by Aristotle and Linnaeus. Okay, Aristotle and Linnaeus, these two were known as artificial classification system. Why? Because only they took the minor differences and they classified. Okay, but later on, like Copeland, okay, Whitaker and Woese, they, in their classification, we come up with many differences. Okay, that's why that is known as natural classification system. Whitaker, Copeland and Woese, okay, they would have given more details. That's why they are known as natural classification system. Classification system. Okay. So we follow what? Whitaker's 5 kingdom classification system, right? So in next class we are going to discuss more about this 5 kingdom classification system. Thank you students. Have a nice day.